Have you ever asked yourself what triggers a tax audit? That is, what informs the tax commissioner to undertake an audit in your company? And this is if you are a taxpayer. We all know that many times the tax commissioner is going to visit any taxpayer for purposes of a tax audit. That visit does not just come from the bruise. The tax audit decision is because of very many factors. Now, all those factors that inform the tax commissioner to undertake a tax audit in your company can be grouped into two. It is not that the tax commissioner is missing you or missing to come and take a cup of tea in your office. No, the tax commissioner will make a decision to come and audit you as a taxpayer because of things that are going to trigger that tax audit. As I have said, these triggers can be grouped into two. Number one is general triggers. Number two is specific triggers. What are general triggers? General triggers are factors that are not specific to any tax type or tax period. These are factors that affect all taxpayers, and these factors can be in any tax type. For example, income tax, VAT, domestic excess duty, customs, and all the other taxes that are implemented by the tax commissioner. The factors can also be in any tax period. But the key thing is, these are factors that apply to all taxpayers. For example, filing of tax returns. That applies to every taxpayer. Every taxpayer is expected to file tax returns. And these are either annual tax returns or monthly tax returns where they qualify. Now, these factors are the ones that inform the tax commissioner on whether to undertake a tax audit or not. When we look at the general tax audit triggers, and like I have said, these are factors that affect almost all taxpayers. We can divide these factors into two sources. Number one is the internal sources, and number two is the external sources. And the internal sources is about the information that the tax commissioner already has, and the tax commissioner is going to use that information so that they can audit you. The tax commissioner will not go out of their way to look for information. This is information the tax commissioner already has. In this video, we are going to talk about the general triggers of tax audits. In another video, we will talk about the specific triggers of tax audits. A good example of internal sources, which are factors of general tax triggers, is information from related company audits. For example, if one company is being audited and then there is information that the tax commissioner will come across, they are going to use that information as the basis of making the decision to audit the other company. Another example is application for deregistration. In this particular case, the tax commissioner is going to rely on the information that they already have. They are auditing one company. That company has provided certain information, and that information that has been provided, which the tax commissioner already has, is going to be used as the basis to audit the other company. Another good example is application for tax deregistration. The tax commissioner may decide, and in most cases, the tax commissioner will undertake a tax audit before you are deregistered. The tax commissioner is going to use the information they already have to make the decision to audit you. And in this particular case, the information that they have is you are applying to be registered. So it is you who is informing the commissioner, I want ABCD to happen, but the tax commissioner decides, okay, you want to be registered, then we must undertake a tax audit. How about the external sources of general tax triggers? This is information that the tax commissioner does not have. This information is provided to the tax commissioner by other sources and not necessarily the taxpayer. That is the taxpayer who is being audited. For example, media publicity. We know today that the tax commissioner is relying on information in the media. That is public information. And a very good example is those traders who are involved in the crypto space. If If you go to YouTube today, you will find very many people talking about the money that they are making in the crypto space, that is selling bitcoins or microcaps or whatever else they are selling, including memes. You will hear them talk about the amount of money they are making. That kind of information will go to the tax commissioner, and the tax commissioner may decide based on that information to audit those people who are in that space. That is information that has not come from the taxpayer directly, but this is information that the tax commissioner has got hold of from other people, specifically the media. So those are the two sources of information, and that information we refer to it as general triggers of tax audits. It is not specific to any taxpayer, and it is not specific to any tax type. We have come to the end of this session, and in this session we have been discussing about the triggers of tax audits, and specifically we have looked at the general triggers of tax audits. We have said there are internal factors or internal sources, and that is the information that the tax commissioner already has, and there are external factors, that is the information the tax commissioner does not have, but they are going to be provided with that information. Remember, we have said that the general triggers are factors that apply to every taxpayer. They are not specific to any taxpayer, and they are not specific to any tax period. These are general triggers. In our next two videos, we are going to discuss in details the external sources of tax audits. Remember, we are still talking about the general triggers. In our next video, we are going to talk about the internal sources of general tax triggers. And in the third video, we are going to discuss about the external sources of general tax triggers. In these two videos, we'll be looking at the factors in details so that you can understand the importance of the information that you provide the tax commissioner, and also the information that you may be providing to other people who then provide the tax commissioner with that information. Now, before you disappear, make sure that you check out the description of this video. We have links to resources that can help you as a business owner and also as a person. It is time for questions, and I have 3 questions for you. Question number 1: have you ever been audited by the tax commissioner? Yes or no? Question number 2: do you think the decision to put your company under a tax audit by the tax commissioner was from general triggers of tax audits? Question number 3: if your answer to question number 2 was yes, do you think the decision was made because of internal sources of information or external sources of information? These 3 questions are important for you as a taxpayer, because the answers to those 3 questions will inform you on what you need to do so that you don't become a target of tax audits by the tax commissioner. In case you have any question regarding tax audits by the tax commissioner or any other tax question, you can use the email address provided in the description of this video. You can also put your question in the comment section of this video. Until next time, your presenter today has been Dr. Wakaguyu. Stay well.